The Code Complete feature allows you to create algorithms that suggest a diagnosis code based off of the information you enter during a patient's encounter. MaximEyes EHR comes with some of these code suggestions already created for you. You also have the option to create your own automatically generating suggested codes based on whatever criteria you decide is required. The benefit of using data to trigger codes is that you don't need to remember specific findings and then search for the appropriate codes since they're automatically suggested for you. Let's see an example of how Code Complete works. In the final diagnosis element, we see that there is nothing there because this encounter doesn't yet have any information in it. Let's add information into the refraction that will trigger a Code Complete suggestion. We've added only the bare minimum that will trigger a Code Complete suggestion for us, information in the add fields for the final spectacle RX element. And because of this information being in there, we see that it has triggered the suggestion for code 367.4, presbyopia. You can select that suggestion and use it as the final diagnosis. Let's take a look at where in MaximEyes EHR the instructions for this suggestion are. Here's where you can see the algorithm to trigger the suggestion for presbyopia. Basically, it reads as, if there is information in the add fields for the final spectacle RX element, then use the following code of 367.4. This just happens to be one of the rule conditions that comes stock in the program. You are also able to create your own rule conditions. Let's create one for Blepharitis using the lids fields in the anterior segment element. If the field contains the criteria of crust, then trigger a code. And here is where that rule condition gets created. We still have to select a specific code to trigger. We'll choose code 373. So here are the details of the rule condition. Let's now put it to the test. We'll place crust in the lids field in the anterior segment element. And because we do, we see that it has triggered the suggestion for code 373, Blepharitis. You may have noticed that it suggested the ICD-9 code for Blepharitis. It's possible to also show the ICD-10 code for Bleph. Simply mark the radio button for ICD-10, and you'll be provided with the relevant options to select the appropriate ICD-10 code determined by specifics.